Okay, we can do this, Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. As if there is anything else for me to testify about. I still have yet to fully prove that it was Mr. Alba who murdered Mr. Cochin. Well, I would like to hear about your movements before the murder occurred. I wonder if you could tell us about what you did here at the Theatrum Naturalis. Very well. I suppose I could tell you about that. Because about all I did was watch the Steel Samurai stage show. Elaborating on even that alone is good enough for me. Because Edgeworth is just all kinds of very, very clever. The only way for me to place this man under arrest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place. For that is the key to this investigation. So, y'all best be giving me that info. I'm gonna drag it out of you one way or another. I watched from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? Those moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them. Steel Samurai is just bizarrely loved in this universe. So, you were in the theater proper watching the Steel Samurai stage show, were you? Of course I was. I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai. Sure, why not? Yeah, I forgot Larry was here, and I wish I did keep forgetting. I was pretty cool up there, wasn't I? You're not the one who was cool! It's the Steel Samurai who was cool. Edgeworth's world is being shaken to its foundation. Yeah, the Steel Samurai's special finishing move today was really something, huh? Huh? Hey, Edgy! Who is she? Who is this super cute girl? Yeah, Larry's friends seem to collect those. She's been standing here this whole time, and only now he notices her. Her name is Kay Faraday, and she's helping me in my investigation. Now please shut up and don't hit on her. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself earlier, but better late than never. Yeah, it's okay, I'm Larry Butts. Silence in the peanut gallery. There's no time for such trivialities as a time like this. To be fair, it's been a while since we had a moment of levity, so I suppose in that aspect it was helpful. Mr. Prosecutor, this is the final battle, you got that? I know. This is the end. For that man there. Now that's the kind of thing I like to hear. I think I'll give trusting you a try, Mr. Prosecutor. Or rather, Mr. Edgeworth? Gasp! A modicum of respect from Lang! Times are serious. I leave this critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Have no fear. I will finish the job. I'm just too damn smart. This really is the end game. The time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Alba's lies. Okay. Well, from what he said, I have an idea of where to at least start looking. All right. I can't really verify or contradict anything about that. It's true, it is hard to prove much things, but all right, hang on a second. Here's a thing. I don't know a ton about the things that happened, but maybe you could elaborate on it. That'd be helpful. Well, I remember the contents of the show as well myself. That's nice. That's nice! Miles Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up by this important juncture. I wasn't planning to let him. Nobody's planning to be riled up by something. If you ask me, I think I'm the biggest Steel Samurai expert around here. You ain't jiggity jacking nothing. And didn't you think that climactic scene of today's show was just totally awesome? Yes, I remember that well. And that spectacular special move. The way you delivered the final blow against the evil magistrate. Early summer rain jab. There it is. Oh, that scene will live on in my heart forever. Is that how it went? I totally forgot about that. How could you forget your own special moves? That's a special attack that the Steel Samurai uses when he's using the Samurai Spear, which he could not use because it was broken. Yes, and today was the first time they showed it off, was it not? If I hadn't watched the show, then how could I answer you what the name of the move? I suppose you are correct, but if you could please elaborate on this point for me. Alrighty, well, this is incredibly easy to get ourselves around. How could he have done the thing with the spear when the spear wasn't even involved in the whole thing to begin with? Gotcha! Thwarted by Larry's own incompetence! The irony! The special move today was the early summer rain jab? Is that your final answer? We playing Jeopardy up in here! Wait, no. We're playing, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Jeopardy doesn't ask for that. Whoops! You little irritating gnat. Do you think you could trip me up by asking the same question over and over? I don't know. Will you ever possibly answer any of them? That was not my intention. Your testimony is more than sufficient. However, I believe it would be wise for you to take a look at this. The samurai spear, what about it? Oh, dang, you need glasses. This spear... Actually, it never made it on stage today. Excuse me? Smug. Unfortunately for you, tonight's Steel Samurai happened to be a goof of a young man with an abundance of useless hot-bloodedness.
You talking about me?
Double smug! Double the fun. Double the smug. Having said that, said useless man bent the spear during his rehearsal this evening. Okay, do you remember what the Steel Samurai's special move was tonight? It was the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash. Correct. Because he couldn't use the spear, a last-minute change was made. Had you really been watching the show, you would have known the move that was used. Cursius Alba! You didn't watch even a single minute of the Steel Samurai stage show tonight, did you? Yeah, flake away, why don't you? So if he wasn't watching the show tonight, then it opens up the possibility that he was busy killing Mr. Cochin instead. So, where were you during the show? I demand an answer, now. Just what is so funny? You're so sloppy. And so are your conclusions. I still insist that I watched the show, or most of it in any case. What do you mean by most of it? You see, during the show I left my seat for a spell to visit the bathroom. I'm old, it happens. I assumed that was when that dramatic scene was played out on stage. You waited until the end of the show to use the bathroom? That's just bad timing. That is the lousiest, lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life, pal. And I'm freaking Gumshoe. Just because he got the name of the move wrong? We can't really use that as proof that he didn't watch the show at all. Ow, that was so bulletproof, though. As a fan of the Steel Samurai, I had wanted to watch the entire show. Honest. As a Steel Samurai fan. For someone who wasn't even in his seat for the climax of the show, you have no right to call yourself a Steel Samurai fan ever. What just happened? Who said that? Who was that just now? What? It would be I, young lady! Larry! What are you doing interrupting me like that? Hey, Jay, just hold on for a second, I beg. You may never accept this old man as a Steel Samurai fan, but I totally think he's a Steel Samaniac. What exactly is a Steel Samaniac, pal? I believe he meant to say Steel Samurai Maniac. Yeah, and trust me, I know a real fan when I see one, because I'm the real Steel Samurai. You ain't nothing. That's Will Powers. I will never acknowledge you as the true Steel Samurai. What are you getting so worked up over, Mr. Edgeworth? He's a real fan. It appears that the real Steel Samurai recognizes me as a fan. As well he should, for I am a fan. It's not as though I missed the entire show. It was a most amazing show, filled with the spirit of the young and the young at heart. The sarcasm dripping from his long wooden nose couldn't run any thicker if it were made out of maple syrup. Getting the name of the move wrong only proves that he didn't watch the last scene. What I really need here is something more definitive. Something that links Mr. Alba directly to the murder of Mr. Manny Cochin. You know what, Gramps? You're really something else. I'm honored to receive such praise from the Steel Samurai, but what is it for? Well, I was just wondering how you found out about the early summer rain jab. That move is a bit of a secret that only a small portion of the staff know about. Wait, it was a secret? Larry, wait, what did you just say? Did I say something stupid again? I mean, yes, constantly, but also maybe useful. Say it again, hello. Did you say that the early summer rain jab was actually a secret? Well, maybe I shouldn't have said secret. It's more like we only decided on the name of the move right before the start of the show. Right before? Yeah, the stage director was going nuts because we were supposed to debut the move. About 5 minutes before the show, we threw it up on the dressing room's whiteboard. Early summer rain jab. That's kind of how we decided the name of the move. But by that time, I'd already bent the spear, so I guess the whole thing was kind of pointless. Well, and how the hell did he know that? All of you Steel Samurai actors are the same. The director has my complete sympathy. Francisca, Franny, girl, no. No, he does not. So, basically, because we changed the move to the sushi slash, we kind of pretended that the early summer rain jab didn't exist at all. I mean, it'd be bad if someone found out we changed the move, so we made it a secret. So basically, a gag order was issued for publicity's sake. It almost makes the early summer rain jab sound like a lost art. Yeah, which is why I think most of the staff hadn't even heard of the move. Hold those lips of yours still! What the heck, old man? I've done nothing but listen, and for what I can tell, it's all very unrelated to the case. It's also very tedious and a pointless exercise and wasting time, much like a kid's show. How dare you say that about such a kid's show? Edgeworth about to slap you, fool. Mr. Alba, I believe the one who should be quiet now is you. How dare you? I mean, technically you have absolutely no authority anywhere about anything, so Edgeworth can say whatever he wants to you. I suspect that you've already noticed exactly what the very severe implications are in this man's testimony. So now you're trying to bully me, huh? No. I know what bullying is like. I'm bullied. I am subjected to that crap on a daily basis. That ain't bullying. There are no implications to be read into a behind-the-scenes story of a kid's show. So say it, Lang! Don't even think about trying to slither your way out of this, Cursius Alba. You were the one who said it yourself that the name of the move was Early Summer Rain Jab. But that name was only decided upon right before the show was about to start. So? Just what are you driving at? You know exactly what I'm driving at. It's a freaking 5-iron. That the name of the move you told us was never used in the show or said aloud. Now then, would you care to tell us about how you found out the name of that move? Because I can only think of one way you could have known. Cursius Alba, this is the only way you could have known the name of the special move. You saw it, you asked about it, or you thought it up. I mean, you must have saw it. You knew the name because you saw it. You saw it on the dressing room's whiteboard. The staff members who knew were keeping it a secret, so you couldn't have simply gone up to a staff member and asked, which means that the only other option left is that you saw it on the whiteboard. But what in the heck were you doing back there for? So that means that Mr. Alba was in the waiting room at some point, right? What's the big deal, sir? I don't see what that means. There's another piece of evidence that has a great deal to do with the dressing room, so we can't afford to let this slide. This is related to both the dressing room and to Mr. Cochin's murder. Well, I remember seeing that little thing before, and pretty easy enough to figure out. It's the dang pushcart. The perfect opportunity to stuff a body into it. The pushcart that was used to move the body was right there in the dressing room. Bada boom. During the show, the pushcart awaited its turn to be pushed on stage in the dressing room. Oh god, that means there was a corpse there on stage. That's creepy. It was finally pushed there, along with the Iron Infant in the last scene of the show. And then, right after the show ended, it went into Alabas along with the Steel Samurai. Dang, that thing was gonna get stanky pretty quick. Which means that the only time the killer could have placed the body inside the pushcart was when the pushcart was in the dressing room backstage. So basically, the killer has to be someone who visited the dressing room during the show. Precisely. Ah! Oh, but wait. What if, and this is just a what if the murder didn't take place in the dressing room? What do you mean, Kay? I have to admit, she brings up a valid possibility. During the show, the dressing room was supposed to be devoid of people. Anyone going into the private dressing room would have stood out like a sore thumb. But despite that, the killer still managed to move the body with the pushcart. Correct. And it is because of this setup of the theater's dressing room that it would be the ideal location for the murder of Manny Cochin. Ain't no one there, son. Cursius Alba, during the show, you went down to the dressing room. And I want to know why. Yes. Yes, I was there. I went into the dressing room. I knew it! I'm placing you under arrest right now, pal. You got that? Arrest. He needed time to formulate some bull crap. Not so fast. What is it now? Don't I deserve a chance to explain myself? We've given you more than enough. Explain? What is there to explain? I believe I told you earlier that I went to the bathroom. Well, I got lost when I did, which doesn't make any sense because you clearly spent a fair amount of time here. How would that work? I wanted to ask for directions, but when I opened the dressing room door, no one was inside. And that's when I saw the name of the move on the whiteboard. You punk! Still trying to get out of this? Do you really think you can get away at this point? Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything you can do to stop him? I don't have enough evidence on hand to do anything. I don't have the airtight evidence I need to put this man away for good. If that's what I need, then perhaps... Agent Lang! I believe an investigation of the dressing room in question is in order. It's possible that we may find new evidence there. Yeah, if Mr. Edgeworth pokes around in there, I'm sure he'll find some new facts, pal. Oh, and if we use Little Thief, we may even learn something from her recreation. We don't need to do any of that. What? Wolfie, how could you? I'm not saying this to be mean. It's just that we've already searched there. My men really are something else. And they found nothing? There's only one thing I can say to you, sis, and it's that they found nothing. That's it. I guess you're right. If they had found something, they would have reported it to us. They couldn't find anything because there was nothing there to find. If there's no info to feed into Little Thief, then I can't do much to help either. Is this the end? The murder took place in this theater, which is not protected under extraterritorial rights. And the fact that it was Mr. Alba himself who committed the murder, if I can't prove both statements to be true, Mr. Alba walks away a free man. Is there no other course of action left to us? It would appear that your hand of cards has turned out to be a bust. Now, if you will excuse me, because of you people, I missed my flight. I must make haste to arrange for a new one. Now who's holding it? Who is it this time? Okay, alternate theory. How about no? Ah! First Larry and now you? What's with that scary mobster-like scowl on your face, Edgeworth? Don't treat me like I'm some sort of nuisance. I've been meaning to say this, but all of you keep talking about things I don't get at all. You're all leaving this lady in the sad, depressing, lonely dust that I'm about to cry in. Why did you have to speak up right at this instant? But you know what? Cheer up, because I'm about to give you the most wonderful thing. The most wonderful thing? From you? It's so super special that I couldn't give it away to just anyone, you know. Special present of those 3 days before you're ready. It's this. But I already have these. It's more hot dogs. It's a box of those samurai dogs, right? God, I want a wretch. I've seen this exact expression 1,000 times before, but for some reason, right now, it's more funny than it's ever been. What the hell is wrong with you? You're really wasting our time with this. God, you sicken me. I'm gumshoeing I'm disappointed in you. Are we through here? Why did everyone get so quiet all of a sudden? Tell me you understand the depths of these love for you. I'm not one to hand out snacks willy-nilly, you know. No, sir. All right, yeah, okay. That's what I thought. It was gonna be a long whirlwind moment. Just get it done with. She just keeps talking. Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do anything about her? There's no power on earth that can force that woman into silence. Ah, she's stabbing! I'm so sick and tired of it. All you people do is look down on me. Then stop being so looked down uponable! Even this box of samurai dogs played me for a fool. It had a special design on its fan, like the Japanese flag, so I thought it was special. But when I ate one, it tasted just like all the rest. Ah, it made me so mad. Wait, a special box with a Hinamaru-like fan on it? I never heard of such a piece of merchandise existing before. However, there it is. The rising sun on this fan is filled in. Is it possible? Could it be? After the show, the samurai dogs were piled up on the dressing room floor. However, there's no such thing as a rising sun dog. Where is this going? This contradiction of facts between something that should not exist and yet does. The rays from this rising sun may be just what we need to point us in the right What? The studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand out the dogs off to the embassy people and then tell them hi. Yeah, I had to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. I see? I believe you understand what this means, correct? You killed Mr. Cochin at this theater and then placed his body inside the pushcart. And then, you forced the Steel Samurai to unwittingly move the body for you. It's time to piece the final pieces of this logic puzzle together, no matter how fragile or small the connection may be. Once we found them all, the way to the truth will be revealed. Through hot dogs? Okay. All right, I guess. So, I believe what we're being told is that they're removed. Where is this going? I am actually confused. The killer used the pushcart to transport the body, which means that they had to remove the samurai dogs from within first. Therefore, the samurai dogs that were piled up on the dressing room floor were most likely taken out of the pushcart by the killer. Yeah? That... I don't have anything else to connect, so... Okay. That which should not exist, this box of samurai dogs with a Hinamaru on it. And if this red rising sun was filled in when the killer was busy removing dogs from the push... Dude. Dude! Is that where we're going with this? And all of the boxes got taken... Oh, if Wendy didn't randomly pocket the perfect box, this would have been... Okay. All right. Let's do this thing. It was filled in when the killer was busy removing dogs from the pushcart. Then it's proof that the murder took place in the dressing room. As long as this red substance turns out to be what I believe it to be, and I do believe it to be what I do be doobin, Wendy Oldbag. Whoa. I thank you. Don't encourage her. She's gonna give an inch, she'll take a mile. What you have given to me is truly something very special. Edgy! Mr. Edgeworth, are you sure you're feeling okay, sir? In no realm of reality is that supposed to be a thing. Mr. Alba, as I suspected, you killed Mr. Cochin in the dressing room. How many times must I listen to you repeat yourself? Haven't you figured it out yet? Your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. The only way I'm going to continue to cooperate is with some definitive evidence. That arrogance, that self-confidence. It's like looking in an extraordinarily broken and ugly mirror. You believe that you've erased every piece of evidence that could incriminate you. However, there remains one piece here, and it is what will put you away for good. Freaking hot dogs, man. Ha! You're bluffing. Oh, hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Sounds like you finally found them. You finally found the fangs you need to go after this guy's jugular. So tell us, what about that box of samurai dogs is gonna put the old man away? Trace evidence that will bring him down? Why, it's here, of course. I find it a little bit strange. It looks a little too... Like, that seems like a phenomenally, like, well-placed drop, but I'm banking it all on that being blood. This box of samurai dogs with a rising sun fan on it. They should never have existed. So I want you all to take a good look at this red spot. It's a single drop of blood. Huh? What? Blood, you say? Agent Lang, I'd like this blood analyzed post-haste. I gotta admit, I'm a bit surprised. Can't believe we'd found blood in a place like this. I mean, on a hot dog? Hot dog, sure. I mean, those things are, God only knows, but on the box? Hey, you, get this down to the lab pronto. Also, since when do hot dogs come in boxes? I always only see them in like little plastic containers. Why was there blood on that box to begin with? If we think about the flow of the crime, I think the reason will become obvious. Larry, you said that you transported the samurai dogs with the pushcart, correct? Yeah, you have a great memory, Edgy. That pushcart was a bit too big for my son, you know what I mean? So to make sure everyone could see him, I had to pile some stuff in. I figured the samurai dogs were there, so I used them to fill up the cart. If what Larry says is true, then what were the boxes doing on the floor? Ah, I see. The killer took them out in order to place the body in the pushcart. Exactly. And that is when I believe the victim's blood found its way onto the box. Wait. Victim? But when my men investigated that room, not a single box of samurai dogs was in there. Because embassy staff members had already confiscated them. I guess that would have made sense too. Okay, no, but I'm still banking on it being Alba. Otherwise, why would this? I haven't had to use this. I haven't had to use this yet. Or whatever. I'm sure I know I'm right. Yes, no doubt to hide the evidence of the murder. It's a good thing Miss Oldbag managed to steal that one box before they got to them, huh? Looks like Miss Oldbag also managed to put this great thief to shame. What a scandalous way of putting that. I didn't steal, I received it from myself. Cursius Alba! I'd say this was one very fatal oversight on your part. Sorry to rain on your little love fest, however. How can he be so self-confident in a no-win situation for him like this? Even if that blood turns out to belong to Mr. Cochin, then what? So, Mr. Edgeworth, sounds like he's not ready to call it quits yet, huh? The sole piece of evidence that was left at the scene of the crime. That alone has shed light on a new fact. At the very least, we now have proof that the murder occurred in the dressing room. And you say that like it means something. Okay, then I was right. I may have. It seems I jumped a step ahead. I'm 3 steps ahead of Alba. Huh? 4 steps in front of Edgeworth, apparently. Excuse me, sirs. Hello, random man. Man, there are a lot of people in this room. Report! Oh, report! What were the results of the analysis? Sir, the analysis came back and confirmed that the red substance is blood. I knew it! With this, Cursius Alba. What are you objecting to? Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might humor my question. No, your question? The one from before, or have you forgotten? Even if that is Mr. Cochin's blood, what difference would it make? Like we already told you, it proves that the crime scene was that dressing room. But it doesn't prove that I am your killer, does it? That's... he has a very good point. Come on, guys. Come on, you gotta... Flips! You gotta flip it! Change your point of view! The blood on the box doesn't prove that Mr. Alba's the killer. Then this evidence, it's meaningless? That can't be. We were so close, sir. I'm gonna smack that smug look off his face. Come on, there's gotta be something we can do. We finally found a solid piece of evidence. There must be something I can expose with it. I can't think of a single thing. Edgeworth, come on. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Whoa, okay, someone's holding it. Who said it? Which one of the many people in here did that? Who was that? It's too late. I won't allow anyone to stop me now. It wasn't me, pal. It wasn't me this time either. It wasn't me either. It was me. Who? Oh, random guy. What? Why did you? Because I haven't finished reporting everything to you yet, sir. There's more. There's more? What? Hurry up and spit it out. Yes, sir. The blood I mentioned. It's not of the same blood type as the victim's blood. What? Hey! Yeah. Huh? What? What do you mean it's not the same type? You mean it's not the victim's blood? If it isn't his, then who the hell's is it? I don't know, sir. All I know is that it's not the same blood type as the victim, sir. What should we do now, Mr. Edgeworth? I have no idea what's anymore. Neither do I. My. What an amusing turn of events. That blood drop proves something to be true, all right. Namely, my words. Which of your words would that be? The ones where I said that your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. That blood has nothing to do with the murder investigation whatsoever. Need to remind you that the blood got onto that box long before it entered my embassy. But what sort of nonsense? Yeah, it's blood, pal. There's no way it's not related to the murder. So you'd like to believe. But what if someone preparing the samurai dogs had a small nosebleed? What then? I guess that's possible. Damn it! We're wasting our time on a red herring. The blood doesn't belong to anyone connected to the case. That should be clue enough. Garcias Alba, whoa, you bastard! Gotta agree. I'm with Lang. Silence. Don't you ever address me with such a filthy word again. What, bastard? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, you're acting kind of like a bastard. I've wasted enough time here with you, and you have your answers. Now let me through. Oh, hell to the nah. Alba, it doesn't matter where you run off to, you'll never escape me. Someday I'll have the satisfaction of sinking my fangs into you, you'll see. And all of Interpol will be behind me working to see that that day comes. Do you know what your words sound like to me? They sound like the whinings of a pathetic loser of a mutt. Is this really the extent of all that we can do? Is the blood really from someone completely unrelated to the case? Or is there another possibility? Someone else other than the victim? Like maybe the culprit? Just when I thought I had him backed into a corner, it is I who was backed into one. In a situation like this, what would that man do? What would he who could turn any desperate situation around do? Turn it around. Yeah! Ow, I hurt my hand! I threw my hands up! Ow, and I hurt my hand. I slammed it on the desk. Ouch. Yeah, you gotta flip it. That's it. I must turn my way of thinking around. It's not whose blood is this. It's whose blood could get onto the box like this. And what if I think about it that way? If the blood got onto the box when the body was being placed into the pushcart, then the owner of said blood must have been in the dressing room at the time. And there's only one person that could be. Well, I must praise you for trying so hard. It's because of you kids that I was removed from center stage, and will be forced to live out the rest of my life in the shadows, unfortunately. But it's not a total loss, as the underworld will allow me more freedom than you'll ever know. Freedom like what the raven feels as it flies through the dark night sky. You can't lay a finger on me, not now or ever. The arm of the law is powerless before me. Gonna go ahead and say, smug. Gonna call bullcrap on that one. Powerless, is it? I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. What do you mean? Allow me to describe you in one word. Pitiful. I mean, I kind of like the one Lang used, but that works too. Pitiful. How so? Cursius Alba, your wings were clipped long ago. And for someone who is trying to fly away on them without noticing that fact, pitiful is the perfect word to describe you. That's Edgeworth for you. Dude's classy as hell. Mere words. What do you mean by his wings are clipped, Mr. Edgeworth? Just what you think it means, Kay. You'd already caught him in our trap a while back. With an incredibly powerful, definitive piece of evidence. Hey, Earth the Mr. Prosecutor. Can't speak in English? What are you talking about? What piece of evidence? The piece I speak of is, of course, this drop of blood. But we know that it's not from the victim. I don't see how it remains relevant to the case at all. Miss Vaughn, Karma, you absolutely adorable, silly lady. I believe that is exactly why it's very important to the case. And the part that is the most important is the fact that it's not the victim's blood. He might know what's going down now. You're looking a little pale. Why? Lack of blood? Maybe. Good. Then I believe you are already aware of what I mean. That you know who the blood belongs to? Of course I do. This piece of evidence is the irrefutable proof that will stop the killer in his tracks. The blood that soiled this box of samurai dogs belongs to this person. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-bow. Take that. The blood of the rising sun on this box belongs to you, Curtius Alba. What? What? Why is his blood on the box of samurai dogs? He's not even a victim. The blood fell onto the box when Mr. Cochin's body was being loaded into the pushcart. At the time, the only two people in the dressing room were the victim and his killer. So that's what you mean. Well, if the blood doesn't belong to the victim, then there's only one other person it could belong to. Yes, and that person is the murderer himself. That's the only logical conclusion. But Mr. Cochin was the one who was stabbed, sir. Why would Mr. Alba have been the one who was bleeding? What if during the murder, Mr. Cochin had fought back? You mean, if before Mr. Alba could kill him, Mr. Cochin managed to wound Mr. Alba? Yes, and I believe we have a piece of evidence that proves that he was bleeding then. Where's the piece of evidence that shows that Mr. Alba was probably bleeding at the time? Probably all of the bandages he showed us. They did have blood on him. Take that. For one final jam session. Mr. Alba, you bear on your body a great wound. Was from when Damas 2 attacked me with a pair of scissors. Yeah, and that happened way after he was in the dressing room. Ah, but is that what really happened? You can manufacture a weapon by smearing blood on it, so I can't just accept that as fact. Shall we try a test, Mr. Alba, and see if the shape of your wound matches the scissors? You really are something else, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't let a single thing slip you by, no matter how insignificant the possibility. Hell yeah. You're one to talk, Mr. Alba. My theme is blaring! That ain't your theme music! You've managed to give the law the slip for 10 years as the smuggling ring's leader. No matter the danger, you can hide every last ounce of fear and anxiety from everyone. Smug, smug, smug. You truly are a one-of-a-kind criminal. I am the master of my fear. Never to think that a person such as you could miss such a large thing. You believe I've overlooked something? You said that my wound was caused by Mr. Cochin, and that it was caused here in one of the theater's dressing rooms, right? Yes, that is correct. I'd like to point out that it's simply not possible. My wound is a stab wound, and one that could have come from a blade. I wonder where you will propose that such a weapon came from. Ah! This theater was packed with security guards. It would have been impossible for anyone to come into this area with a weapon of any sort. Just as Mr. Alba was able to bring in the Alabastian knife and a bouquet, there must have been some other way to sneak in a weapon of some sort. Ah, but as long as you can't prove that what that other way was, all your talk about Mr. Cochin stabbing me is pure nonsense. So, if that other way does exist, you'd better hurry and tell me now. Too easy. With pleasure. What? This piece of evidence shows us how Mr. Cochin brought a weapon into the theater. Man, never seen a piece of evidence be so useful in multiple cases like this. Take that. It was in his pocket. Among law enforcement, this piece is known as the Yatagatasu's key. That key! That's the key that my father stole from here 7 years ago. And it is very unique in that it is both a key and a knife. Meaning that under the guise of a key, it could have been easily brought into the theater. You couldn't dispose of the knife that stabbed you. Therefore, you wiped off the blood and placed it back into Mr. Cochin's pocket. After all, the key itself opens the safe in his office. And inside that safe, there was a document about Cadopian papers signed by Mr. Cochin. In order to make it look like Mr. Cochin died as the leader of the smuggling ring, you had to let people be able to open that thing so you couldn't have gotten rid of it. Ha! He had to make it so that the police were the ones who opened that office safe. All that hard work to save yourself only served to destroy you in the end. That's fun. Shall we try matching this knife's blade with your wounds, Mr. Curtius Alba? And that, it's what some may call the coup de grace. Impossible. You can't take me down. Swine! All of you! Especially Manny Cochin! This is all because of that man's betrayal! He sought to steal control of the smuggling ring from me by removing me as ambassador! Which is why he deserved to die while bearing the guilt for all my crimes for me! That's why I sent out the Yatagatasu's card and how this incident was born! Manny was supposed to be the smuggling ring's leader who was killed by the Yatagatasu! But I had yet another reason, yet another story that was supposed to play out. Manny's death was supposed to bring everything to a close. And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling prosecutors. Smug, smug, smug. Mr. Alba, I'm afraid there's one more question I forgot to ask. This country's, or Alabast's, which country's court would you like to face first? Either way, it's game over for you. And that's how you do that. This is it. The big day. It's Mr. Alba's trial today. And next week, he's scheduled to stand trial in his own country of Alabast. Francisca is heading that one. I suspect she'll be serving a full course of whiplashes at it. Having to face Miss Von Karma in court right after facing you, sir. Ugh. Don't even want to think of what that would be like. I caught a glimpse of Mr. Alba as he was being escorted into the courthouse. Boy, he looked about as glum as I do the day before I get my monthly paycheck. You know, I've been thinking. That flight attendant and even Mr. Portsman were all Mr. Alba's secret agents. Correct. That smuggling ring was the common thread between all of the incidents. It's been a very eventful week. Camille was to provide support during smuggling ops using her job as an attendant. Mr. Portsman was to manipulate trials related to the ring to end their favor. I fly airlines and even the prosecutor's office. No one was safe from the smuggling ring, huh, sir? I suspect there are even more members of this ring spread throughout the world. Sounds like such a big op that I can't even begin to imagine what it's like. Oi. What is it, detective? Nothing. It's just... Well, come to think of it. Mr. Ernest Amano's trial is also scheduled for later today, sir. I'm aware of that. Mr. Amano had been working with the smuggling ring now for over 10 years. He used the Amano Group's various connections worldwide to assist the ring. But all of that has come to an end as his conglomerate has now undergone harsh scrutiny. I owe Mr. Amano a debt of gratitude, but he must pay his debt to society. And given his age, good luck with that. Well, with the arrests of both Mr. Alba and Mr. Amano, I guess that about wraps up the KG-8 incident as well, huh? I suppose so. The real killer in the KG-8 incident 10 years ago was Manny Cochin, and, well, he's dead as hell. And 7 years ago, the killer in the second KG-8 incident was Mackerel. Those two facts are the unshakable truth. However, it seems that a lot of effort was put into hiding these and other truths from us. And I will expose it all at the trials today. You're solving cases left and right today, aren't you, sir? CCU and Dead Man. Perhaps now these two brave souls who tried to make the truth known can rest in peace. We can only hope. By the way, I received some gifts from Ambassador Palano. Shrimp, crab, beef. I don't need any of these, so I'm giving them to you. Whoa, you're giving him food? What? Seriously, sir? Wait, actually, I don't think I want them anymore. The way you're holding them, Don't tell me they're just coupons, sir. Detective Gumshoe, have you not read the paper recently? Ever since the two countries became Godopia again, its economy has changed. Really? And it seems that Ambassador Palino has reaped a few benefits of his own from it. He's been announced as the official ambassador of the newly reunified Godopia. Baller! Ah, but what a pity. Even though every item he sent is a treasure, you don't seem all that interested. Well, if you don't want them, I can give them to my lovely assistant, Kay. Wait, that's not what I said. So, Mr. Edgeworth, please let me have them, sir. Edgeworth didn't say that. Actually, come to think of it, where is Kay? How come she's still not here? She's so sneaky! Ninja! You gotta be more alert than that. Ninjas! I can't believe you didn't notice. I was even mimicking Mr. Edgeworth's voice for a bit. I totally didn't notice you, or realize that voice was you, but then again, I am kinda slow. That's Gumshoe. Langzy says, ferocious love blooms with each new spring. Agent Lang, a pleasant surprise to see you here. It's been a long time since I set foot in a courthouse, and I wasn't gonna miss watching the guy who screwed up my country finally get what's coming to him. Well, that's something else. I want to see you in action in court. Is that so, Agent Lang? We flushed out all the counterfeit bills, so Zhang Fa is finally at peace again. And it's all thanks to you, so I just wanted to say thanks. Wow, never thought I'd see the day old Wolvie said thanks to Mr. Edgeworth. I should be the one thanking you, Agent Lang. If you hadn't negated Mr. Alba's extraterritorial rights, I would not have been able to bring him to trial. I believe the victory belongs to the both of us in this case. A shared victory, huh? Look, don't get me wrong. I'll still never forgive you prosecutors. And I have zero interest in that truth thing you talk about in court. I've always done things my own way, and that's not about to change. You got that? I see. Well, I believe you should follow your own creed when you do your job. Yeah. And if there's ever someone your precious truth can't catch, feel free to sit around and cry about it all you want. But as for me, I'm gonna get that person no matter what. All right. It's about time for the trial to start. I'll see you later. I'll be watching your performance from the galley, and I'm looking forward to this. I prepared a whole ton of ticker tape for today's victory, sir. I'll help throw some around when Mr. Edgeworth wins. Hope you've got enough, because I'm gonna go call my men up as well. A modest amount of ticker tape goes a long way. That's awesome. The scene shifts to the courtroom, and the final act of this long tale begins. The legend of the great thief Yatagatasu. It's the story of those who chose to dedicate their lives to the pursuit of truth. Prosecutors are those who seek a guilty verdict for the defendants they meet. And to that end, you have no choice but to win by any means necessary. That creed was forced on me since I was very young. However, I no longer think it is all we prosecutors are, and that is because... Even though I've only been away from the courtroom for a short time, I feel as though it's been a lifetime since I've set foot in one. And today is more than any other day, I feel the fight within me rising. Freaking nice! Well, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, that was Miles Edgeworth Investigations. I'm really in Mr. Edgeworth's debt for the other day. Thanks to him, I'm still free to serve in the friendly blue skies. Oh, so about my suitcases. I've been selling them on the internet, and they've become a real sensation. Always trust the internet, thanks to the praise the art world has lavished on my work as being truly postmodern. Ha! The airline has chosen me to design their new line of iFly jumbo jets. Just think, someday you'll be able to take a ride in my pink-walled, yellow-seated jet. That just appears like visual vomit. This game was awesome. I really had a lot of fun. Edgeworth definitely deserved himself a spin-off, and this was every bit as good as I would hope something like that would be. Edgeworth, the rudeness of a rude man. Because of him, my time and money is wasted. But more importantly, I received the most fantastic treasure recently. The prima duck statue of the Principality of Cadopia. It weighs a bit light in my hands, but the Ambassador Palino was most generous. Yeah, good luck with that one, my dude. So, I'm well aware of the fact that this game's got a sequel. A sequel that's only available through fan translation. We finally caught Agent Hicks's killer, and I was able to witness Mr. Alba's teary eyes. It feels good to finally bring everything to a close. I received another offer from Interpol to work another case in cooperation with them. However, the Cadopian courts await. Cadopia's air is supposed to be very fresh, so my whip should find new vigor there. Damn straight it will. So yeah, I know there's a sequel and it needs a fan-translated patch in order to work, but I got that covered, and yes, I'm going to play it, obviously, okay? I got so many questions about this. Of course I was gonna play it, don't worry. This little patrolman has been fired as of today, sir. I thought I was safe since we found the gun I had dropped. But I hadn't noticed that I dropped my police badge too. I guess what really broke the camel's back was that I couldn't find my badge. My little life has suddenly tripped into a dark black hole, sir. I think I'll go to the courthouse and file a complaint with Rufflesman. Rufflesman? The Pringles guy? Huh. Alright, well, if that's what they want, I guess. I guess I don't really have a whole lot more to say. This is just a very, very solid and great game. Emma! Oh man, I wish we got to see more of Emma, but at least she got to make a cool cameo. I was actually hoping to talk with Mr. Edgeworth a bit more than I did. Yeah, me too. But I gotta get going and return to Europe. And I still got a long way to go and a lot of stuff to study there. Next time I help Mr. Edgeworth on a case, I'm gonna do it as a real forensic scientist. I'm sure he's gonna need all the help I can give him, scientifically. Emma, you so great. But yeah, don't worry, the sequel's gonna come, and it's actually gonna come probably faster than you think. I'm not gonna make any promises, but I plan to not have it be too terribly long. At least not in comparison to the many, many other, you know, breaks in between Ace Attorney games that I typically do. Because the kidnapping was staged, I was let off easy. But I won't be going outside much anytime soon, but that's really okay. The only prison I'm forever trapped in is the cage of love. The guard down at the detention center, well, when he's on guard duty, he has such a cold look in his eyes, just like that prosecutor, Badump. Man, I hate it when my heart takes badumps. Stop it, Lauren. When will you ever learn to stop being a prisoner of love? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say probably never. That being said, I really, truly hope you all enjoyed this. This was a ton of fun. This is a really honkin' good game and great time. It appears that all sorts of drama that takes place outside of the courtroom. Since we judges are here day in, day out, I've only heard a few rumors, but apparently Mr. Edgeworth teamed up with a thief and became a detective. However that works. Maybe I should team up with a bailiff and try to become a lawyer or something. Dude, I would play that game so fast! That sounds awesome! I know they never do it, but that sounds great. Do we get to hear Maggie? I like Maggie. She got a hat. It cute. Barely escaped death yet again. Yeah, but boy, were we lucky to have Miss Edgeworth help us out, huh? Yeah. But because I lost the key, I got fired from my security guard job. Don't let it get you down, Maggie. You still got me. You're right, sir. I won't be sad. I'm gonna pick myself up and get through this. I wonder what my next job should be. Oh, this is actually kind of fun. Gotta look at that silver lining, y'all. Oh man, the Ace Attorney franchise is so phenomenally amazing, guys. I don't even know where to begin. Either way, I hope you guys had a fantastic time. I have been the Max Review Trades, and I will see you all next time for a brand new Let's Play. I'll continue reading the rest of these things, but I'm basically gonna stop with the commentating. See y'all next time! Wanna come to Cadopia for your summer vacation? We have coupons aplenty. Right now, our embassy is proud to present our Let's Investigate a Murder show. Although recreating that particular case has created a few small fires of its own, then we had a few problems with the fire marshals, but the next event will be great. It'll be an attraction entitled Capture the Yatagatasu. Of course, I hope to enlist Kay's help in creating our latest attraction. Good luck with that. I can't believe that Mindy ditched me and went to Japan. It's okay, because that's how I met Miharu. I plan to go to Paris soon and start a business. We're gonna sell blue ocean dogs. They'll sell like hotcake hot dogs for sure. A blue hot dog and a blue bun. I guarantee it'll turn your tongue and your face blue. Nobody wants any of that. No, I'm not really the type to work a lot or at all, really, but... Oh, so I noticed that I really haven't seen the guy in the blue suit at all recently. Why is everyone so allergic to saying Phoenix? Wonder what's up. Well, the next time we meet, I'm gonna make him eat one of my dogs. I can only assume it was, like, deliberate, but come on, say Phoenix's name! I'm glad there was a cameo of him, but still. Miss that guy. He's great. Today, I gave testimony in court today as a member of the Yatagatasu. Yo, Mr. Bad, you look well, all things considered. By the way, have you noticed the elements within the ring have begun moving? They're probably fighting over who should succeed, over who should be the next boss. Although, to be honest, I wish I could forget I'd ever heard of that smuggling ring. Langzi says, thoroughly bite the poisonous snake from head to tail. That sounds like a terrible idea. No one runs afoul of the law and escapes this wolf's fangs. I'll get you all yet. Ah, youth. When did I become so old, I wonder? Probably 1973. I can notice in the gray hairs in my beard more. I'm thinking of retiring my mirror. Fair. Whoop! I feel so much better now that the trial's over. And as always, your legal prowess was top-notch, sir. Yeah, nothing beat the look on Mr. Alba's face when you revealed the ring's secrets. I was amazed. You're like a totally different person when you step into a courtroom. Mr. Edgeworth is always 10 times fiercer in court. Based on the information Mr. Alba offered up, they've begun large-scale operations to clean up the rest of the ring, which I'm happy to leave to Francisca and Agent Lang. So what are your plans now, Kay? Huh? Oh, well, we've taken care of the creep who killed my father, so I'm not sure. Hey, I know. Maybe I'll just keep on being Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Are you still trying to steal my job, pal? Just kidding, just kidding. I can't steal something so important to you, Gummy. What a relief. Okay? Yeah? Even after all that's happened, are you still planning to become a great thief? Of course! But I don't want to tarnish the legend of the noble Yatagatasu. So, I'm gonna hold off on doing anything until I make a tight 3-person team of my own. A 3-person team? A 3-person team of young beauties the same age as me, if possible. I'm gonna be honest with you, given the track record of just how many gals of her age and adorableness exist in the Ace Attorney franchise, I feel like she's got a pretty good odds of that. With those criteria, I highly doubt you'll find the 2 other people you need. I mean, okay, no. I mean, okay, Emma? Emma would be a good candidate. I don't know if she would agree to doing any of that, but I'm just saying. I'm just trying to think of someone who fits that criteria but would also be useful in the exact line of work that she's trying to go down towards. My father chose to fight for the truth. I think that's what was so noble about him. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, the only thing I'll ever steal are the truths that have been hidden away. And I'll do it adorably. I'm gonna work extra hard to make a world where the Yatagatasu isn't needed. Let's both strive for such a future. Well, I guess it's time for me to get going. I see. Okay, keep your chin up and stay strong, okay? Don't be a stranger. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be sure to break the lock on the window and sneak in. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you came in through the building's front door. It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. The lock on my window at home has been broken for forever. Oh, one last thing before I go. Let's take a group picture, just the three of us. Yeah, commemorative photo. Every big case has to end with one. Don't be a spoil sport. No. Hey, why not? Oh, don't tell me you're camera shy, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course not, detective. Go on, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm taking the picture now. Hey, come back here. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't run away from this, sir. We'll box you in a corner. Hey, Detective Gumshoe! Stop that! I can't be seen doing that! Okay, I'm totally taking it now. Say cheese! And thus, the long tale of the KG-8 incident came to a close. It saw the demise of a smuggling ring and the birth of a little great thief. But there is a little time to rest and relax, for I am eager to tackle the investigation into a new case. The reason for my eagerness is my want to pursue the truth and my want to believe in the strength of those who use the power of the law for good. As someone who has chosen to live my life as a prosecutor, that's my new creed. Oh, that's adorable. Ah, Edgeworth, you've come so far. Till next time.